So, hello everyone, welcome to Positron Academy. And today's topic of discussion is on the role of radiation safety officer in nuclear medicine. So, in nuclear medicine, we use unsealed radionuclides for diagnosis and therapy, and these are being used for to localize tumors, to investigate anatomical and physiological changes, and to evaluate the functioning of different organs. So, then these all comes under the diagnostic branch of nuclear medicine. So, nuclear medicine has two different branches. One is diagnostic, and other is therapeutic. And for therapeutic branch, we use radionuclides for treating different type of cancer, like prostate cancer. For this, we use lutetium labeled PSMA. For neuroendocrine tumor, we use lutetium labeled dotatate. And for thyroid carcinoma, you use iodine 131. And also for chronic inflammatory joint disease and so on and so forth. So we can now see that the nuclear medicine has application ranging from diagnostic to therapeutic applications. So whenever we talk about diagnostic nuclear medicine procedures, so for doing these procedures, activity are being administered, and activity can range from tens of megabecquerel to gigabecquerel for technetium labeled pharmaceuticals. And whenever we talk about therapeutic applications, for example, treating thyroid carcinoma using iodine 131, we are not giving as much as activity because of the high linear energy transfer of these therapeutic radiopharmaceutical. They have extremely high LET compared to that of diagnostic pharmaceuticals. And these pharmaceuticals can be used in different forms, like in liquid, like in colloid, or like in gases. So whenever we are trying to deal with these radionuclides, there is a possible chance that these radionuclides can spill or it can leak. And whenever it spills or whenever it leaks, there is potential chance that these radionuclides will cause radiation hazards to the patient, to the personnel, and to the public. And to avoid those things, we have to adopt to some comprehensive knowledge of radiation safety to minimize these hazards. And the principle of LRA is recommended by ICRP, and it has to be followed. And LRA means as low as reasonably achievable, and we'll talk more about it when you go later in the presentation. And this principle of LRA can be effectively achieved by adopting good work practice, by having a good functional equipment, by adopting trained and qualified personnel, and instituting area and personnel monitoring in the workplace. And compliance with these rules is also a legal requirement. Under radiation protection rules and atomic energy rules, which are promulgated under the Atomic Energy Act 1962, and according to this rule, it is mandatory that each radiation facility center shall have a qualified radiation safety officer, and this radiation safety officer has to be approved by the competent authority. And in India, the competent authority is the chairman of Atomic Energy Regulatory Board. So, in diagnostic nuclear medicine facility, the radiation safety work does not warrant a full-time RSO. Rather, a qualified nuclear medicine physician or a nuclear medicine technologist who is well trained in radiation safety can also act as a radiation safety officer. However, these people must update their knowledge in radiation safety, including surveillance and monitoring procedures, and also familiarize with modern trends in radiation protection and dose limits. And as of now, there are 359 nuclear medicine departments in India as on 4/3/2021. So now we'll talk about the role of RSO. So in diagnostic and therapeutic nuclear medicine, it is compulsory on the part of registrants and licensee to ensure the availability of trained, qualified, and approved professionals in the department, and RSO act as a link between the management and the workers and management and the regulatory agency. So these are some of the roles of RSO. First is to provide appropriate radiation safety guidelines to the employer or to the administrator, to locate appropriate site, prepare layout plan, and evaluate adequate shielding to the NM facility. Apart from these, to ensure radiation safety in preparation and use of radiopharmaceuticals, and to perform quality assurance test of the NM equipment, radiation safety instrument, and the procedure related to radiation safety, There are multiple other roles of RSO, which includes to protect patients from unwanted radiation, to prepare for the radiation surveillance procedures, to manage radiation emergency and accident. So if there is any radiation emergency or accident, the RSO has to manage this situation. Also to ensure the safe disposal of radioactive waste, because after the end of the day there are multiple radioactive waste which accumulates in the department. To ensure its safe disposal is again the role of an RSO. And most importantly, to arrange in-house training on radiation safety to the nursing and other supporting personnel, and to inform radiation personnel regarding their responsibilities, and to maintain radiation safety record. That's also important. The RSO has to maintain the radiation safety records of the department. Apart from these, to assess personnel requirement in the department based on the patient load and give necessary requirement to the administrative employer. So based on the patient load in the department, how much personnel we need, it has to RSO has to take the responsibility, and to implement regulatory controls in various operations involving the use of radioactive materials. Example for radiation, radioactive waste disposal, inventory of radioactive sources, and multiple things RSO has to take the role. Apart from these, the RSO has to go for radiation surveillance for both area and air monitoring, also calibration of all NM equipments and survey instruments, and also more importantly, he has to make regulations to prohibit food, drinking, and smoking in the regulated area, and should encourage the dry run first unless level of activity is low, and also identify various various sources in the department, and the labeled radiopharmaceutical is properly labeled and segregated, because in department we always go and make multiple radiopharmaceuticals, so labeling is very important. So for example, we have multiple vials over here, so he has to label. There's technician label TTPA, that's FDG, that's PSMA. That's pretty important to avoid misadministration of radiopharmaceuticals. And also apart from these, the RSO has to develop a code of practice to avoid any misadministration of the radiopharmaceutical. And also he has to submit an investigative report of excessive exposure, misadministration, or spillage or accident to ARB if it occurs, and should ensure that the spillage of radioactivity is attended immediately before it spreads to multiple locations of the department, and should prepare instruction for handling emergencies. If there is an emergency in the department, what should personnel do? He should prepare instruction for it, and should ensure that, that's more important, and should ensure that the female patient coming for the test are not pregnant. If pregnant, we should not go and use radiopharmaceutical for the patient, because it will cause harm to the fetus. And should ensure biohazardous, chemically toxic, and non-toxic radioactive waste are segregated at the generating stage and disposed of appropriately. Apart from these, the RSO should ensure that the radioactive waste which is released in the environment or the sewage is within activity limits specified by ARB, because whenever there is cleaning of the delayed decay tanks, like which contains liquid argon-131, so whenever we are disposing these liquid waste to the sewage, the activity in these liquid solution should be in the specified activity limits which is being given by ARB, and only that waste that is easily dispersible and soluble is discharged in the sewage system. So these are some of the roles of RSO, and thank you.